What's up, guys? It is 12:34 a.m. Friday morning as I do this video. This is April 28, 2023. All right. Guys, I have identified yet another great play in my opinion. All right. What I am viewing as the bet of the weekend. All right. In a slow weekend in boxing. All right. No real big fights to speak of this weekend, out of my eyes. All right. Yesterday, I found out that the BKFC Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship event is coming up this weekend, which is headlined by Mike Perry and Luke Rockhold. Co-main event: Chad Mendez and Eddie Alvarez. All right. Now, my thoughts were I'm gonna play those fights. All right. Maybe do a parlay. I felt that, Luke Rockhold should be retired. He's not to get punched in the face anymore. He gets hit, he gets knocked out. All right. And I believe Eddie Alvarez is on a bit of a skid. I cannot remember. I didn't do the research, but Chad Mendez is almost 3-1 favorite. Mike Perry almost 3-1 favorite. Maybe do a parlay with those two. All right. A lot of places not letting you parlay except for Caesars on those. All right. It's the only place I've seen let you parlay those two. All right. Now, as I was looking around at the different sports books for odds, I went on bookmaker.eu. All right. And early in the day, they did not have odds. All right. But yesterday evening, they finally put up odds. All right. And as I'm going down the list of BKFC fights, I see the name Mike Alvarado. And I pause, I freeze. I'm like, this can't be the Mike Alvarado that was a boxer. This just can't be right. This can't be him. It's got to be some other Mike Alvarado. So I Google Mike Alvarado uh, BKFC, right? And sure enough, a boxing scene article pops up from earlier this month saying that BKFC announced that they signed Mike Alvarado to a multi-fight deal and how he's gonna, fight in this upcoming event. All right. Mike Alvarado, who is currently 42, will be 43 in July. All right. Okay. At this point, the alarms are going off. Sirens are going off. Because Mike Alvarado is done. He's finished. When he made his comeback in 2016, he was struggling against, low level competition. All right. Needing to get come from behind KOs, things like that. All right. And once he got in the ring with somebody that had a pulse in Arnold Barboza Jr., he got knocked out in the third round. All right. That was April 12th, 2019. That was his last fight. He got knocked out in the third round. I pulled that fight up on YouTube. You can pull it up yourself. He got knocked down bad. He when he got up, he was on shaky legs. He was trying to hold him to the ropes. He kept going down. The ref waved the fight off. All right. Um, uh, he was getting hit. His reflexes were terrible. He could not block anything. He got hit with the uppercut whenever Barboza threw it, to the point where Barboza realized it and just started throwing the uppercut over and over, trying to catch him and knock him out. All right. That's how bad his reflexes were in 2019, guys. All right. He got knocked out. Now, 4 years retired, 4 years inactive. All right. Just got older, just been inactive. All right. Now all of a sudden he's getting in with a guy named James Brown. All right. When I first saw the odds on Bookmaker, James Brown was a plus 110. I think Mike Alvarado was a minus 140. So I had to do my research. Who is James Brown? All right. I came across James Brown's Tapology page. All right. On tapology.com. All right. At first glance, I see that and his nickname is Get Down James Brown. All right. His MMA record is 10-5. All right. That doesn't, that's not gonna blow your socks off. It's like, okay, well, Mike Alvarado's fighting this kind of, mediocre MMA fighter on first glance, right? All right. Then you go down his resume. You go down his tapology, if you will. All right. You see that James Brown is 29 currently, as opposed to Alvarado, who is 42. All right. Uh, James Brown is 6'2", as opposed to Mike Alvarado, who is 5'9". All right. His reach is not listed on here, but after seeing him fight in his last fight, which was a BKFC fight, a bare knuckle fight, he has a 77-inch reach as opposed to Mike Alvarado's 68-inch reach. It could be 69. Let me look at his box rec. Um, let's see. 69 and a half inch reach according to box rec. Mike Alvarado's reach. All right, 69 and a half versus 77-inch reach. All right. Okay. So already, Mike Alvarado has age disadvantage. He has a height disadvantage, a reach disadvantage. All right. James Brown's tapologist says that he has a current a win streak of 7 consecutive victories. All right. All right. Now that's just his MMA fights, what they're referring to as his 7 consecutive wins since October of 2020. He has not lost a fight. All right. His last MMA fight was July 23rd, 2022. All right. Now his last actual fight was a bare knuckle fight, which was January 27, 2023. All right, so there's yet another disadvantage for Mike Alvarado. This guy has bare knuckle experience, all right, and that does count for something because when Paulie Malignaggi did it against Artem Lobov, he complained about the differences between, having on the boxing glove and basically having your knuckles exposed, and how it felt different and how he didn't like it. All right. So at least James Brown knows what that's like, as opposed to Mike Alvarado, who's been inactive, number one, and number two, has not fought bare knuckle before. All right. All right. Now, he beat a guy, James Brown did. He beat a guy named Steve Morris on July 27, 2023 in bare knuckle. All right. I pulled this fight up. The fight is on YouTube. All right. You can type in James Brown versus Steve Morris. I think it's like a 14, 15-minute video. All right. It's 5 rounds, 2 minutes per round. All right. Now, to describe James Brown's fight style, wisely, smartly, he uses his height and his reach to his advantage, his length. To describe his frame, imagine Snoop Dogg doing bare knuckle. All right, he is a tall, skinny guy. Skinny arms, skinny legs. It almost reminds you of Dawson from Street Fighter. All right. Um, that's the kind of frame the guy has. Now he has holes in his game. He does not. I'm not seeing future boxing champion or MMA champion. When I see him, uh, you know, I feel that he fights with his hands a bit too low. Uh, Sometimes very low, to the point of where he got knocked out. I'm sorry, knocked down, not knocked out, but he got knocked down in I think the third round of this fight with Steve Morris. All right. It was terrible. He had his hands down, spread apart, down, and he was going back in a straight line, which he did over and over in that fight. And he got caught and he got knocked down going back in a straight line. All right, with his hands down. So you know, not perfect at all. All right. Chin up, hands not always up, too low, going back in a straight line. All right, but he does have a decent punch. Now he did not get a knockdown in this fight. He had half of Steve O. Morris's face blooded up. But the reason I say he has a punch is on his Tapology, and if you look through his record, you will see. All right, like I said, the guy's 10-5. All right, out of 10 of his victories, 9 of them have been by KO or TKO. All right, he lost by KO or TKO in his only his second fight by strikes. All right. Um, let's see. Outside of that, his losses, uh, he um, he was he's been submitted 4 times. All right, so he's only been stopped by strikes only once, and that was in his second fight. I think that was in 2016. All right. Um, outside of that, none but submission losses. So really, striking is his forte. You know, and like I said, 9 wins by knockout. All right, out of his 10 victories, you know, only one submission win. Uh, let's see. Let's look through his record. All right, his third fight, ref stoppage from strikes. He won that fight that way. All right. Uh, then his next win, he won by knockout in the first round. All right. His next win, ref stoppage from strikes. All right, round 2. His next win, that's the win he won by submission. All right, after that, KO in the first round, 32 seconds. Next win, KO in the first round, 59 seconds. Next win, KO, first round, 13 seconds. All right, next win, ref stoppage from strikes, 14 seconds in the first round. Next win by strikes, 53 seconds in the first round. Next win by punches, 53 seconds in the second round. All right, so um, you know, using his hands, that's his specialty, guys. Even though he has holes, going back in a straight line, hands too low, chin straight up. I tell you, when he fought this guy, Steve Morris, he used his height and his length. He stayed on the outside. If the guy was getting close, he tried his best to get out of there. He should not be going back in a straight line, but he was doing his best to get out of there. All right, and for the most part, it worked, except for when he got caught. All right, so I think he can beat Mike Alvarado the same way. Steve Morris has 1 inch in height better than Alvarado and 1 inch in reach better than Alvarado. All right, and I think Steve Morris is 27 years old. All right, I'm gonna try to pull up his page real quick, but I was curious as to what his age was. He appeared to be a young guy. Yes, he is 27 years old. All right, so basically, you know, outside of the boxing knowledge, of course, the pro boxing experience, he basically fought, a Mike Alvarado type, height wise, uh, reach wise, but he fought a younger version, a guy who was faster on his feet than Mike Alvarado at this point. All right. Yes, I believe Steve Morris is faster than Mike Alvarado at this point. All right, so um, this should feel pretty familiar to him. All he has to do is stay outside and away from Mike Alvarado's punch. Do not make himself available to get hit by the guy. Stay on the outside. Keep him on the outside. Keep him away from you. All right. Do not get in the pocket. Give up your height and reach, and let the guy hit you flush on the chin. All right. So, Alvarado, he has a puncher's chance. If he can, hit this guy flush, maybe he can, stop him or something like that. But as far as, if this is a 5-round fight, which I believe it will be, let's see. Um, yes. And it's going to be at 155 pounds. All right. According to the Tapology page, it will be 5 2-minute rounds. All right. So, Alvarado inactive. He does not have BKFC experience. This guy James Brown has the experience. He's younger, he's taller, he's longer. This is his fight to win, guys. This is his fight to win. I only see him losing, you know, by getting caught, by not being smart. All right. Um, and currently, as I do this video, you can get a plus 125 on James Brown at betonline.ag, or you can get it at a plus 120 at DraftKings. All right. Those are the only two places I'm seeing it right now. It was on Bookmaker, but I went in big on the fight to the point to where they froze the line twice, and they pulled the fight down. And then afterwards, they pulled the whole BKFC fight card down. All right, that's how much I went in on James Brown. All right. This is a 29-year-old prime guy who was active, who was fighting in the prime of his life, the prime of his career, fighting a guy who was almost 43, who has been retired 4 years, who last we saw him got knocked out, all right, in the third round, who was extremely hittable then. Uh, who's been in wars. In his 5 losses, Mike Alvarado's been knocked out 4 times, all right? So yes, he made and he's the favorite in this fight because of his pro boxing experience, because he was a world champion, all of that. All right, but we've seen this before, guys. We just saw with Roy Jones and Anthony Pettis. We saw it with Evander Holyfield and Vitor Belfort. You know, where these former champions, decorated boxers, they are not at their best anymore. They get in with these younger guys, and they get beat. You know, uh, so guys, here it is happening yet again. Yet again, and yet again, the odds makers are making the pro boxer, the former world champion, and making them the favorite, and making the young guy the underdog. Man, this James Brown should win this fight. He should not lose to this almost 43-year-old guy who is inactive, who has never had a bare knuckle fight before, who is very hittable, who has been knocked out multiple times. His feet should be faster. He's longer than this guy. All of these things, man. He doesn't have the boxing IQ that Alvarado has, but can Alvarado physically do it? Can he keep up with a 29-year-old? I'm kind of doubting the guy. So, you know, really, that's it. I think this is a great opportunity, guys. I wish the odds were higher. And by the way, when James Brown fought this guy Steve O'Morris, you see if you pull up the fight, he was like a minus 325 favorite against Steve O'Morris. All right, minus 325. All right. He fighting a guy with the same height and reach basically, but who was almost 43, and the only reason that he is underdog is because the 43-year-old was a former world champion in boxing. Father Time catches up to us all, guys, and the only way I see Alvarado winning this fight is if he land a punch on James Brown that takes him out, he can't recover from. So that's it. I think this is the better weekend, guys. I'm not even worried about the Rockhold fight. Not worried about Chad Mendez fight. Uh, this is my only play, and I think it's a good one. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think. Uh, you know, if I forget anything, I will leave a comment in the comment section. Again, betonline.ag, which I found out when I would say REF in videos. That's what that is, all right? Betonline.ag, plus 125 on James Brown. DraftKings plus 120. Last I saw before doing this video. Maybe Bookmaker will put the odds back up. I don't know. Um, Caesars also has odds for the event, but they don't have this fight. They only have a few fights. They don't have this fight. All right. Um, but you may have to look around if you want something better. But that plus 125 is very good. And I asked betonline.ag because I have not placed a wager there yet. But I asked their live chat. They limited the bet to like $325. I asked if you could do like multiple bets, or if 325 was the cap and you couldn't bet anymore. They said on money line plays you should be able to bet it over and over and over if you want to. So you can go in big on it if you would like to. If you think it's worth it. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's a good chance to be in the money this weekend, guys. Uh, if you play some wagers, good luck to you. Enjoy the fights, and I will check in soon. Thanks for watching.